Hello everyone, artist Charles Wolf here, back again for another painting lesson. I recently put out a video about comparing different colors of black. I had a friend of mine on Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook, be sure to do so. I have a Facebook page, Impulsive Artistry, and I post all kinds of stuff on there every now and again, so check that out. Anyways, my friend on Facebook saw that video, and he mentioned that it would be really neat to do a painting where I played a very cool black against a warmer black. So in this piece, I'm going to do just that. I have a painting that wasn't terribly successful. It was a start of a monochromatic landscape, as you can see there. I flipped it upside down to help me ignore more of what's going on in the background of this piece, and that painting was done entirely with titanium white and Payne's gray. Today I'm going to create a monochromatic painting using two different blacks. I'm going to be using Payne's gray again, and I've started today here with some Payne's gray. And then I'm going to be using titanium white and some Mars black. Now, if you saw my compare and contrast video about the different colors of black, then you'll already know that Payne's gray is a very bluish, cold gray. That the Mars black has a much warmer presence, much warmer hue. And when they're sitting next to each other, you're going to see how much warmer and the heat of that Mars black as it comes forward. Blue tends to recede back into space, and warm colors tend to move forward into space. And we're going to use that to our advantage to create a fantastic, stunning abstract today. When a painting that I start doesn't turn out that well, I can either cover it up with some gesso and start again. I often do that. Or I can just use whatever I have in the background as a base layer, underpainting if you will, for an abstract. And today I decided to do the latter with this nature piece that just didn't turn out right. And that's okay, that happens sometimes. Here's some more Payne's gray. I'm using a very large bright brush today, and I'll be interchanging that with the large filbert brush as well. Pardon the pun, unintentional. The idea of interchange is kind of the core of this composition. Again, shout out to my friend who suggested I create a piece using this aesthetic, doing a monochromatic painting, but then playing the two different colors of black off one another. Bringing in lots of white. I want to really have intense display of white in this piece. You can see that I'm changing brush directions, keeping my brushwork very loose, not covering up all of the background, just large sections of it. And hopefully what was background already on the canvas and what is foreground will start to merge and blend together. Back to the Payne's gray here, hitting some of that white, becoming a little bit lighter, more of a gray. And I have these two half circles meeting in the center, and then a darker section on the left-hand side, and we're going to play in some other circles, half circles over here as well. Nice arches going, maybe a little more on this side too. Why not? And we'll just blend that over there and down here. Not a lot of paint on that brush, almost dry brushing at this point, just blending out. Okay, here is the warm black, and you'll see how much it pops forward in the texture. It just screams out. You can see that it doesn't lay in with the grays and the blues, it moves forward in the composition. Now there's already a texture because of the paint underneath, and I'm allowing that texture to be visible by just very lightly pressing the brush against the canvas. Quick jagged up and down motion here, and we'll get some zigzags going. Crossing some of the other lines already on the piece, and up here on the right coming down towards the center as well. A little more over here. You can see that the warmer Mars Black comes forward, quite bold, and it stands out against the cooler Payne's Gray. Things that I like about this piece, I'm liking how the bottom section is looking. A little more white in there. Just smooth this out a little bit. I really like the left-hand corner. That's looking how I want it. Gonna bring in a little more of the Payne's Gray over here on the right. Just a little bit too pure with all the white. Break that up a little bit. Bring back some of the gray. Dirty brush back into the gray. A little more intense here in the center. Blending upwards. And on this side as well. I really want a lot of shifting sections. Each chunk of the painting, if you will, should have some variety in it. I don't want any one section to be too pure. We want to have a shift from light to dark and have some of the gray shifting to pure titanium white. Just keeps the whole thing much more visually interesting. Solid blocks of just white. That could look interesting, and that could look somewhat akin to the piece that I did recently, Winter Window. Has that sort of effect with lots of white and dark lines against it. But for this piece, I really feel like it should be a little more muted. Touch more of the white through here. Gonna blend out that line and rediscover it in a minute. Just making a few adjustments. A little more white. Dirty brush. And then cleaning up the edges of this line with the Payne's Gray. Back to my Mars Black, gonna rediscover the line here and make the zigzags better. There we go. Have it come down across there. Very jagged. A little more over here. Down to the bottom. We're going to break this section up. It's a little too large. Gotta have some more movement. And then very lightly here, very lightly, I have a lot of white already on my brush. Put in a few smaller ones in the background. Kind of a warm gray because it's Mars Black mixing with the white. Doesn't have that bluish cast that the Payne's Gray does when it hits the white. Abstracts are so much fun to do. They don't have to look like anything, of course, just paint on the canvas. It's very freeing, just put paint where you feel like it should go. It's a lot of fun to play around with. Here's some more of the Payne's Gray. Felt like it should be a bit darker right here. I don't want to mess with it too long, and I think we'll call it right there. That's the finished piece.